Well, it's 4:44. I haven't done a video for a while at that time, and that used to be my favorite starting time, although this is PM, not AM, the way it used to be. Anyway, and I forgot to take the phone off the hook. Ooh, that's bad. Anyway, I hope it doesn't ring during this next 15 to 20 minutes. The title for today's video, which is actually for tomorrow, the 12th or the 10th rather, of December. Every man and woman for him herself. Frankly, I'm feeling pissed off again. I've been studying remedies in law for several years, nearly a decade. I've listened to hours of lectures, read numerous papers, reports, and prepared a good number of documents since the lawsuit hit in 2005. Still, there are more people coming out with additional remedies. What pisses me off is that many of these treat the existing system as if it's somehow honorable. And the remedy is to outwit the actors in the court and other agencies. If it comes down to a battle of wits, with every man and woman having to fend for him or herself, there is no hope for humanity to escape the matrix of control. A few may obtain the illusion of freedom. However, until all are free, no one really is. It doesn't matter what we know, believe, or intend. We remain prisoners on a prison planet run by criminals who neither obey the law nor honor truthfulness. I keep hearing this stuff about acting in honor, by which they mean agreeing with the criminality enough to save your own ass. To hell with everyone else. That's not what I want. I want freedom for everyone. Yeah, Neil Dyer's comment on my video from today about contracts. He says, yes, they are valid contracts, even though they don't meet any of the conditions of what a contract is by definition under common law. They meet none of the, or they meet, yeah, they don't really meet the criteria at all. It's all fraud, as I said. And my meeting with my friends on the other side of the world, it was led by Jagamara, a teaching session. And he's an amazing man. And he has a lot of wisdom, a lot that he's learned, just as many others have learned a lot of things. But it all seems to me to boil down to, as I said in the blurb, to outwitting the people that are playing their role as actors and somehow treating them as if they're honorable, when in fact they're criminals. They are scumbags that have no conscience, no ethics. I mean, they lie like rugs. They deceive. They have no qualms about ordering someone to have their home stolen or their body attacked or anything. They think they own us. And people say, well, they do, Ron, they do. Well, I'm sorry, they don't. Nobody can own anybody else. That's slavery, and it's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law to take that which someone else is using, that they own it. And I know a lot of people don't like the idea of owning, but when you're using something, it's yours. If you're living in a home, it's your home. If you're driving a vehicle, it's your vehicle. Whatever it is in the material world, if you're using it, it's yours if you haven't stolen it. And we have a right to everything that we use. And there's so many things that I know about the law, what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with the matrix. And then there are these people that go around talking as if somehow courts are honorable institutions, when I don't see them that way at all. They are totally in dishonor, totally corrupted. You know, yes, there might be an occasional idealistic judge or an idealistic attorney. There might be even an idealistic banker or two. But the majority of the people in the system are criminals. operating uh, a Ponzi scheme on the one hand, a criminal syndicate that extorts money and value and wealth from everyone that they can extort it from. The prison system is totally corrupt. All the governments, all the multinational corporations, the Bilderberg Group, everybody that's part of the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission, and goes to do their summer vacation over there in, what's the name of that place in Northern California? Where they all go, that Alex Jones snuck into with a camera. I don't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, the people that attend these things, they're criminals. They're criminals. And they need to be brought to justice. And this idea of just saving our own butt because we were able to learn how to properly word things and how what not to say and what to say. And Jagomar spends hours memorizing. He's really good at it. And I've listened to other people that are really good at what they're doing. But less than 1/100th of 1% is able to reach that level of the total population on Earth. How are we going? It's not even a critical mass that can do that. Not even a critical mass of people that can actually eloquently win against the corrupt system and do it consistently and get the corrupt system to leave them alone. And all I've ever wanted, truthfully, is, in a sense, to save my ass and for them to leave me alone, but also to get humanity to the place where we can throw off this criminal cabal, where we can get rid of this game that we're playing, which is sick and perverted and corrupted. It's horrible. It's a horrible situation that the human race is in. And maybe most people don't even know how bad it is because they don't pay attention and they don't see what I see. But to me, it's awful. And people say, you're not even supposed to have a savior. Well, I want a savior. Thank you. And I want to be a savior for as many people as possible. Not so that I can control them, not so that they can put me on a pedestal, but so that we can be free. The objective is the kingdom of heaven on earth. Freedom for every man and woman and child, so that we can live without any fear that comes from a corrupt system. We shouldn't have to fear our government. We shouldn't have to fear our police. We shouldn't have to fear companies that operate under law. But they don't operate under law. That's the problem. They consider themselves above the law. They make law to control the people underneath themselves, the subservient ones. They make laws for them, but themselves, they break all the laws. They're pedophiles. I saw a cartoon the other day where there was a bank robber holding up a teller, give me your money, and he had a gun pointed at the bank teller, and then one of the executives of the bank has a bag of money that he's carrying out called bonuses, and the comment was, such an amateur. Yeah, you want to rob a bank? The people that rob from the people and rob the banks are the people that own the banks, and there's videos about that. And the people that run the government are the crime bosses. Folks, when are we going to get it? Do we have to live in a world where everybody is for him or herself, and we're not interdependent, we're not cooperative, everybody stands on their own, and nobody does anything for anybody else, nobody bonds together for a common cause, because all we care about is our own butt and saving our own ass and being left alone. And I can identify with that. I'd like to be left alone. I'd like to be able to come and go as I please with no fear. I had somebody come to the house just before it was time to go pick up the grandkids today, taking a survey as to who lives in this house. Is there a for sale sign out front? And it's some company that does investments. Are they trying to steal my house again? It's December. They've done it for, this would be the 4th December in a row that they've made a move trying to steal this home. And there's never been a mortgage on this home. Do I have to live now with a constant fear that they're going to try to take the home, and now there's 6 people living here? Where is the remedy that works, that you don't have to play freaking games with some judges that are trying to entrap you, and everything they do is entrapment? They have no problems with laying snares to people and entrapping people, even though it's unlawful to do so. They do it all the time. When are we going to get down to law being enforced? And I'm talking about cosmic law being enforced. I'm talking about common law being enforced, and start taking down the people that violate other people's free will, that harm other people, that steal from other people and take what's not theirs away from the people whose is. And all of the wealth in the world belongs to the people of the world. It's our inheritance. God gave it to us, to mankind, which includes men and women, by the way. And yet we live in a world where we've got people going around spreading these teachings about talking honorably, when you live in a world where, as I said, where there's no honor. There's no honor in courts. Not for the most part. Maybe 1/10 of 1% there might be a little bit of honor. But most of the judges and stuff like that are corrupt criminals. Most politicians are corrupt criminals. They may start out differently. They may start out with better intentions, some of them. But they end up there because the system corrupts them. How are we going to turn it around to make heaven on earth so that everybody can prosper and be in health, and everybody can go through their own evolution and their own spiritual growth without constantly being ensnared, without constantly being entrapped, without constantly being stressed out over things that are unlawful? And as I said, the system is unlawful. When are you people that preach these other things, when are you going to get it? Yes, maybe you're smart enough and you are going to devote the time. I mean, I'm sure I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the study that some of these people have done, although I feel like I've taken a college course or two in these matters over the years. I mean, literally hundreds of hours of listening to lectures and reading papers and stuff. Hundreds of hours. Hundreds and hundreds. I don't do it so much anymore. But I used to do it a lot. I used to spend sometimes 10, 12 hours a day just on the computer reading before I started doing videos and answering all the emails and everything. So I know a little bit, but I don't know it all, and I'm never going to know it all, and I'm never going to have a remedy that is foolproof, that anybody can just use it and it works for them because they don't know it. I've tried to help people, and when they go to court, they don't know what the remedy is, and so they can't even begin to explain what's going on. I mean, I can a little bit, but they beat me. They beat me in the driving without a license, even though they dropped the charges of resisting arrest without violence, for which I charged them, but they've ignored the charge, and there's still collection agencies trying to collect the fine, which is now doubled from what it was initially, because they're corrupt. How are we going to stop this? How are we going to get whatever it takes to move, to change the world and right these wrongs? How are we going to do that? I don't want it to be on an individual, one-on-one thing where just every man and woman is for him or herself. That is not the solution. And even those that are able to do it, as long as they're living in a world where their brothers and sisters are being harmed, they're being harmed too, even if they think they're not, because we're interconnected, because we're one family, we're the human family. We're under one creator. And it has nothing to do with all the little games that they've played with religion and all the other stuff in our world, all the other ideologies. We need to change things, folks. And that's what I'm pissed about, because sometimes it seems like it can't happen. When I hear some of these people talk, I think to myself, very few people will ever get to where they say they need to be to beat the system. But we need to beat the system or we're in deep shit. Thank you for listening. Namaste.